Welcome back to my channel. It is September 2nd and I am in the middle of stitching. So I started a day early on the Flosstube would go. Mainly because I knew that yesterday I wouldn't get a lot of stitches because I was working a shift that was kind of problematic at the time. So I started on the 31st and I counted that as September 1st stitches. And then the stitches I actually did at September 1st, I simply just added them. So I did 221 stitches on August 31st and another 100 on September 1st, and I counted as 321 stitches overall. Right now I am in the middle of stitching. I am very close to finishing the first diagonal in the section. Yay! And so far I did 221 stitches, or actually 228 stitches because I didn't count the ones that I stitched very shortly before I started recording. So in this particular color, wait a second, the one that is attached, it is color number 816. It doesn't look exactly like it looks in real life. It looks a little lighter, but that is the color that I have. And I still have four more stitches to do here. This is very much unplanned. So I might be fumbling over some words. But yeah, I still have 4 stitches left in that color in that section, and I don't have anywhere to put it. So that is going to be it for that color for the next while. And as you can see, there is no actual princess silhouette yet, and I think it's coming though. I think it's coming. So about my writing, I was very excited to come into work yesterday and just write, but we had a very large shipment filled with personal orders, which is people who ordered the book, and so we had to, process the books through the system and then call the people who ordered the books, and there were tons of it. We sell textbooks for school as well as books for general reading. So all of the textbooks came just all at once, and I was basically busy the entire shift just processing the books through the system and calling the people that ordered them, as well as actually taking care of the customers that were in the store and making it possible for them to purchase the books that they want. So it was a hell of a shift. It's going to continue to be a hell of a shift because there's like thousands of books that need to be processed and called, so people who ordered them can buy them. The school year started yesterday, so people are extra stressed about it. They were really nice, but you could see that they're extra stressed, mainly because of the speed of their voice. I can't really tell expressions, or tone in most cases, but the speed of their voice kind of made me, it made the other one. Honestly, I don't know what. I'm assuming it was the speed of the voice, because the person that was working the shift with me is the one that told me that they were really stressed. And after a couple hours, I noticed that they were all speaking really quickly. So that's why I think that's why they were stressed. That's like the sign, like the tell. But I don't actually know. So I had absolutely no time to sit and relax, let alone write. So I'm not gonna say anything about that because I didn't get to do anything. And I expect it to be the same tomorrow and on Friday when I do my shifts, like the rest of my shifts this week. Hopefully the people that are working today and on Thursday will get some of the books processed, and the people who ordered them called and let them know that the books are here. Hopefully, but honestly, I don't know. I will not know until I actually go to work on Wednesday and find out. Yeah, so on the bright side though, I did spend a lot of Sunday working on my own Pokemon region. I did have a few stuff already figured out from previous attempts, so all I had to do was work on the Pokédex. I just had a picture of the region, so that was easy, relatively easy. I decided to include all 1025 Pokemon, but also divide the region into 4 sections. And I decided to also add a post-game area, so that is another 2 sections of the Pokédex. And I also decided to add 2 DLCs, which is it's a Switch Pokemon game thing. So each of those DLCs is also a section. And then the final 5 Pokemon that were not divided into the sections, I'm going to have to do something particularly special, or I guess dead, in current Pokemon games, which is, it's kind of like events, but they're not going to be time stamped or time, like there's not going to be a deadline by which you have to complete it. I'm just gonna do 5 quests or side quests that will be the event, possibly in the post game. I mean, I did add them to the post game sections, but probably in the post game, because honestly they're gonna work best then. And then only after you complete those 5 quests and catch those 5 Pokemon will you be able to have access to the DLCs. So, yay! But it will include all Pokemon. And if I can't work it out until Gen 10 comes out, or if Legend CA has any new Pokemon that I need to include, I'll just work a few things around, and maybe those side quests will simply have more Pokemon. Who knows? But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I will not say which Pokemon are going to be where, because I'm still working on that. I completed the first section, literally the first section. It's the start of the game, the starter pick, until the 3rd gym. And now I am stitching, but after I get to, I don't know, maybe in a couple hours when it's lunchtime, and after that I'll switch to Pokemon and work on the second section, which I believe is gyms 4 through 6, and that includes all the routes in between. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But yeah, so the main game sections are 120 Pokemon each. And I mean, honestly, the first section worked pretty well. There's no legendaries or mythicals in it because it's the start of the game, but it does work, and I am pretty happy with how it works. And I will stop talking now because I also want to do 2 more clips on Thursday and on Saturday. So it's already 10 minutes. So I'm gonna see you on Thursday, and stay tuned for you. It's only gonna be less than a second. There's something outside and it's driving him crazy. So it is September 6th, Saturday, and this is the last clip of the week. So I have some really good news. You can see the princess, and now I can tell you who it is. It's Moana. If you didn't guess before, the boat. Actually, you might not be able to see it, but there's a lighter shade of red in here, and it's the spirally logo of hers, and also her oar, and you can see the head, the curly hair. But that is not the good news that I was talking about. I completed with Go Goal number 14. I did 1,400 stitches on this one. Technically I did more, but I only needed 1,400 stitches for the first one. And I'm working on the second one, which is 1,800. So yay. Also, 14 gives me 2 bingos. So yay. So my reward system is every bingo gives me 2 new colors to add because I'm building a master set. So yay. But honestly, in reality, I might just change it because with all the projects that I have planned, eventually I'll get to a master set anyway. So I'm gonna have to figure it out just completely. On the writing front, I finished Fated Mates. I started Clevendale's. I finished the first chapter of Clevendale's, and now I am working on the second chapter. And when I say finished, I mean rewriting and adding into the story grids. So, yay. And there's a new front because after forever, I finally figured out how to go into my game creator app on this laptop because I could not figure it out before, and now I did, and now it works, and now I can actually make my game, and he's here. Enzo! And now he's gone. I did film a short video of him on Thursday night. I will include it at the end of this video, but he's so cute. So cute. I love him. So I wasn't sure if I was going to include this video, and then I talked to Mackenzie over at the Night Owl Stitcher, and she said, and I quote, "Oh my god, do it." So I'm gonna do it. So you're going to see him on my bed, on his favorite pillow on my bed, and you're going to be able to see how cute he is. So yeah, back to the Pokemon game. I have wanted to make a Pokemon game for a while now, before I actually knew how I could go about it. Then a few years ago, I figured out how to go about it, and I downloaded RPG Maker XP, and I started using it on my previous laptop, but I didn't get very far before it died on me, and it wasn't really that good of a game, so I don't feel particularly bad about losing the little that I actually did. But here, it's on a much bigger scale, and it's going to be great. So when I figured it out, it was I don't know exactly where it was, but it was definitely before Gen 8. So 20 something teen. I don't know. I really don't know. Because Gen 8, if I remember correctly, came out in 2019, and I had a plan before that. And like the difference is, Gen 8 introduced DLCs, which is basically expansion packs. And in this idea that I'm working on now, or starting to work on now, I do have 2 DLCs planned as well. Well, semi-planned. I don't have a story figured out yet, but it's fine. So, yeah, I'm starting to do it. I downloaded Pokemon Essentials, which is what I need in order to make the game a Pokemon game specifically, and not just a game. So now I just have to watch a bunch of tutorials, learn how to make the whole thing, and it's definitely gonna take a while, and I will update. And at the moment, I have the main game mostly figured out. I started building the Pokédex, and I have the regions all figured out. And I say regions plural because there's the main game and post-game region, and then there's the 2 DLC regions, which are basically just like starting out. So they have like a few cities, a few routes, and a bunch of Pokemon, because each DLC is going to have 170 Pokemon in its Pokédex. All of them new Pokemon that do not appear in the main game and post-game region, but they are smaller. So the routes are going to be bigger, and there's going to be some wild areas like Gen 8 and 9. Even though it's going to be on, I think it's a Gen 3 model, so it's going to look like a Gen 3 game, but it's going to act like a Gen 8 and Gen 9 game. Just like the latest stuff that I have on all the Pokemon. That's what I'm going to use. So with most of them, it's going to be Gen 8, Gen 9. With some, it's going to be Gen 7, with even less than Gen 7, it's going to be Gen 6. And a few of them, I think, are going to be Gen 5. I really hope I'm wrong on a Gen 5 thing. I actually hope I'm wrong on a Gen 6 thing too, because that would be so sad. But I will make a separate video to talk more in depth about my project in this Pokemon game project. So if you want to see it, stick around and wait for it. I do hope I'll be able to do it today, but if not, it's going to be up tomorrow. And that is it for my video for this week. And stick around to see the dog. Keep on reading, keep on stitching, keep on reading. No, wait. Sorry, I'm so excited about the Pokemon game. I forgot. So I'll just say this. Thank you for sticking around. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. This is my dog on my bed. I came back from brushing my teeth, and that is how I found him. Just sprawled on my pillow. And he's kind of grumpy. He wants to sleep. But isn't that adorable? Oh, he's so cute. See if I can get his face. Hey! Boof! Okay, wait a second. Ta-da! What a pretty eye you have. Yes. I'm not going to be able to show the other one. But isn't he just adorable?